Hezekiah's bonus years, the side of the story. Few talk about welcome to another powerful biblical story. Today, we're featuring the life of King Hezekiah, but not the version you usually hear. This is the side of his story that's hardly mentioned and rarely taught in Sunday school. He was a righteous king, a man who trusted God. A prophet named Isaiah came to him with a message from the Lord. Set your house in order, for you shall die and not live. This was God's word, clear and final. But instead of preparing to die, Hezekiah turned his face to the wall and cried. He poured out his heart to God. Remember how I've walked before you faithfully with a loyal heart. And he wept bitterly. God heard. God responded, I have seen your tears. I will heal you, and I will add 15 years to your life. Just like that. A miracle. Time extended. Life prolonged. Hezekiah had been given a divine bonus, 15 more years. Who was Hezekiah? Hezekiah was a descendant of King David, part of the royal family line that goes back to the promises God made in Genesis. He ruled Judah and helped lead the people back to God in a time of national compromise. Why did God say he would die? The Bible tells us Hezekiah became extremely sick, near death. It wasn't necessarily punishment. It was a turning point, a test. And instead of giving up, Hezekiah pleaded with God, not just emotionally, but with purpose. He said, Lord, think of how I've lived. Think of how I've served you. I tried to do what was right. That kind of bold, heartfelt prayer should make us pause and think, what if you faced a challenge today? Would you have anything to say, anything to point to? A second chance. That changed everything. Hezekiah recovered, and during those 15 extra years, his life took a dramatic and tragic turn. One of the most critical events, he became the father of a son, Manasseh. Born during the extended years, Manasseh would go on to become the most wicked king Judah ever had. He reversed Hezekiah's godly reforms, built altars to idols, filled the streets with innocent blood, and led the entire nation into deep sin. This wasn't just personal tragedy, it became national disaster. And it all began during the bonus time Hezekiah was granted. But it didn't stop there. When visitors from Babylon came to congratulate him on his healing, Hezekiah showed off all his treasures, not as a testimony, but in pride. He didn't glorify God. He glorified himself. The prophet Isaiah, the same one who brought the message of death and healing, came again with a warning from God. The day is coming when everything in your house will be taken to Babylon. Even your descendants will be taken away as captives. There was no reversal this time. Hezekiah's decisions in his bonus years helped open the door to Judah's downfall. So was it worth it? That's the hard question. If Hezekiah had died when God first said so, there would have been no Manasseh, no prideful display to Babylon, and perhaps no exile. Sometimes what looks like mercy becomes a test. Hezekiah's 15 extra years were real, but so were the consequences. Lessons from Hezekiah. Hezekiah's story teaches us. Don't take no for an answer. If your walk is right, speak boldly, and even if it's not, you can still ask for mercy. God hears sincere prayers. Life is a gift, but how we use it matters. Success can lead to pride if we're not careful. What we do with extra time shapes our legacy. Final reflection. You may not receive a clear message from God like Hezekiah did, but every day you wake up is a chance to begin again, to honor God, to grow, to reflect, and to live with purpose. Hezekiah's story reminds us life is a gift, and it must not be used carelessly. So let me ask you, what would you do if God gave you another chance? Not because of a crisis, but simply out of mercy? What would you want him to consider about your life so far? Are you living in a way that brings him glory? Or are there things you need to change today? What if you faced a challenge today? Would you have anything to say, anything to point to? Can you say to God, Lord, please consider my life, my service, my heart? Do you attend church? Are you active in his work, or just watching from a distance? Hezekiah's plea challenges us. If you haven't done anything countable or worthy for God, what would your plea be? Psalm 90:12. Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Watch out for more powerful biblical stories. What stands out to you about Hezekiah's bonus years? Do you believe his story could have ended differently?